सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, तुम हो जगत के धाता, तुम हो जगत के धाता। तुम ही हो ब्रह्मा, तुम ही हो विष्णु, तुम ही हो शंकर रूपा। सृष्टि स्थिति लय स्वरूप तुम हो, तुम हो अनादि रूपा। आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, तुम हो जगत के धाता, तुम हो जगत के धाता। अनाथ नाथ दीन बंधो, तुम हो आनंद रूपा। अज्ञान नाशक शरण संरक्षक, आत्मज्ञान प्रदाता। आओ गुरुदेव दर्शन दीजो, तुम हो जगत के धाता, तुम हो जगत के धाता। ओम नमो नारायणाय। 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 ओम नमो नारायणाय नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। Let us chant the 5 verses together. उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानं नात्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि यत्करोषि यदश्नासि यत्तपस्यसि कौन्तेय तत्कुरुष्व मदर्पणम् अनन्याश्चिन्तयन्तो मां ये जनाः पर्युपासते तेषां नित्याभियुक्तानां सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So yesterday we were discussing the first verse. So what is the essence of the first verse? Uddharet atmana atmanam. Atmanam uddharet. Atmana uddharet. Lift yourself and lift by yourself. So yesterday we were discussing the life is meant for spiritual evolution. In all the lower stages, we were programmed to evolve. There is no question of falling back because Mother Nature takes care of our evolution. Stone life, plant life, bird life, animal life. But once we enter into human life, a choice is given to us. Freedom is given to us. We may evolve if this freedom is used in a right way, or we may devolve, fall down, avasadhanam can happen, if this freedom is misused. So yesterday we was discussing about this evolution. So when do we find ourselves fit for the evolution to the next stage? When we start experiencing imperfection in the present stage, and when we see a state of perfection in the higher stage, then we are motivated to put forth effort to attain the higher stage. So throughout these stages of evolution, and what is the final stage of evolution? The final state of evolution is perfection. Our own Supreme Self, which is Sat Chit Anand. So this is a journey which we have all taken up. And every stage of this journey, there is a struggle. And the reward of each and every struggle is attainment of a higher state of evolution. So what is the process of this evolution? Yesterday we had seen darshanam, then mananam and prayatnam. First we see two things. Number one, an imperfection in the present state. And number two, perfection in the higher state. That you see. That gives us inspiration to put forth effort to attain the higher state. So darshanam happens, after that mananam happens, you reflect upon how and why the higher state is higher and why the lower state is lower. So in spirituality, a higher state is defined as a state of greater peace, greater clarity, greater freedom, greater understanding, greater strength, greater fulfillment. That is called as a higher state. So when we do this mananam, we become convinced that that higher state is higher. At present, I am in a lower state. So that is where effort comes into picture. Prayatnam, effort. And once the effort is complete, that higher state becomes our natural state. Effortlessly, we abide in that higher state. But is the journey over? No. Once we get established in the higher state, slowly the next higher state becomes manifest for us. Then compared to that next higher state, the present so-called higher state appears inferior, lower. Again you do mananam. How can that be higher and this is lower? Then clarity comes. Then again prayatnam becomes. So this way, all of us, we are evolving. Roughly, the stages are tamasic, rajasic, and finally sattvic. These are the stages. So we are all at different stages of evolution. Generally they say, all the masters say, what is a sign that you have almost reached the final stage of evolution? When you start showing interest in scriptures. When you start showing an interest in satsangs. When you are able to understand it. When those scriptural statements inspire you to do prayatnam. You are able to understand it. Doubts are not there. And what is the proof that doubts are not there? You are positively inspired to practice it. If you have listened to it and you say, I don't have any doubts, but if you are still not practicing it, that means somewhere something is wrong. how clearly you have reached the state of mananam, that clarity has to lead to effort. Many times people say, yes, Swamiji, I have understood. Any doubts? No doubts, Swamiji. But then there is no effort. Go on listening to satsang, but nothing is happening. No effort is being put. Then there is some problem. Clarity and effort, they go together. How clear you are, that much inspired you will be in putting forth effort. So that is uddharet. So efforts are put at the physical level, emotional level, intellectual level and spiritual level. In fact, all these levels merge finally into spiritual level only. My physical personality must help me evolve spiritually. My emotional personality must help me evolve spiritually. My intellectual personality must help me evolve spiritually. So what is spiritual evolution? Spiritual evolution means knowing myself as I am. Spiritual evolution is nothing but knowing my own true self. In the language of devotion, spiritual evolution means experience of the divine, experience of God. This God is nothing but Supreme Self. So therefore both are one and the same. So all my personalities are geared towards, all my evolution in different personalities are geared towards evolution as spiritual personality. Uddharet. Right. Now, in this effort, what is the contribution of others? So this verse makes it very clear. As far as the effort is concerned, others have no contribution. Atmana atmanam uddharet. Others may give you knowledge. Others might inspire you. But as far as working on yourself is concerned, nobody else can do it for you. This clarity has to be there. Others cannot do anything. So what are the examples given? Like food, exercise, taking medicine. Others may prepare food for me, but I only have to eat. Others may give me medicine, but I alone have to take the medicine. I have to follow all the do's and don'ts. Others cannot do it for me. This information is essential because many times people have this notion, Guru will touch my head and I am liberated. There are no such shortcuts available. People have all this wrong notion. They want shortcuts, and there is no shortcut. Every shortcut will end in long cuts only. You will unnecessarily suffer. Gurudev has made it very clear. If some Guru is telling you that I will carry you on my back to heaven, then know for sure that he is a fake Guru. Very clear. Bhagavan, he is Yogeshwara Krishna. Bhagavan is the Lord of all yogas. Even that Bhagavan is helpless in giving Arjuna the ultimate spiritual state. And that is why the whole teaching is given, 700 verses. Why should Yogeshwara Krishna give 700 verses? One touch would have been enough. Why is Bhagavan teaching? And again, Bhagavan is only teaching. Arjuna, you get it for yourself. Nobody can help you. Even Bhagavan cannot help you. Even Bhagavan cannot help you. Just imagine. Swamiji, but 11th chapter Bhagavan gave Vishwarupa Darshana to Arjuna. Yes. But then what happened in the end? Arjuna was not able to handle it. Bhagavan gave, but Arjuna was not able to handle it. Unless you are qualified, even if it is given to you, you will not be able to handle it. Finally, what did Arjuna say? Bhagavan, take it away. It is torture for me. So then Bhagavan took it away. What it means is, we have to develop that qualification to gain that experience, knowledge, realization. Nobody can help us. Atmana uddhared, atmanam uddhared. Na atmanam avasadayet. May you not allow yourself to fall. Possibility of fall comes only when you have risen. So in this path of sadhana, you are going on from one level to other, one level to other. Remember, higher you go, the greater the responsibility to see that you don't fall. For a person who has never risen, for him there is no question of fall. A child who is lying down, you don't say, be careful, you may fall. The fellow is lying down like this, on the back. Is there any carefulness needed? Alertness needed? He is already in the lowest state. So no alertness is needed. But as you are growing higher and higher, higher and higher, higher and higher, you have to be very, very careful. Higher you go, the greater is the pain of fall. Pain is directly proportional to the height you have reached. Now a question may come, if the higher state is so blissful, why should a person fall? Person can fall because there is one catch. Dhumena vriyate vannihi yathadarsho malena cha yatholbena vruto garbha tatha tenedamavrutam. Arjuna, there is a danger. You know, the moment you turn towards the lower means lower pleasures in the sense objects. Slowly what happens? The intellect gets veiled. The covering slowly starts happening. First it is like dhumena avriyate vannihi. Fire getting covered by smoke. A mild covering. Smoke actually cannot cover fire. But thick smoke, yes. Slowly the smoke appears and slowly it starts covering. So that is the first stage. No much effort is necessary. You have to just give a puff and the smoke goes away. But if you are not careful, slowly that covering, the second stage is dust covering the mirror. Covering becomes even more intense. Still, if you are not careful, alert, what is the next stage? The fetus covered by womb, covering becomes very thick. And And then what happens? What is right appears as wrong. What is wrong appears as right. Just like in the womb, the child is upside down. This is what happens. This is how the desires cover the intellect. This is how the desire for the sense pleasures paralyze the intellect. So this danger is there. That is why avasadhanam is very important. There is no guarantee that after uddharanam there is no avasadhanam. There is no guarantee. If you are careless. Remember, your evolution is nothing but your wisdom, your understanding. Where is your evolution situated? In your wisdom, right understanding. Now, the lower pleasures, lower desires, it starts crippling your understanding the moment you start meditating upon the lower pleasures. Dhyayato vishayan pumsah sangasteshu upajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho vijayate krodat bhavati sammoha sammoha smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramshat buddhinashaha buddhinashat pranashyati. Ladder of fall. Where does it start from? Dhyayato vishayan pumsah. Meditation upon sense object. That person may be a very highly wise man. Not a person who doesn't know anything. No. He must have had some higher state of experience also. No doubt about it. But the moment he starts meditating upon the sense object, where is his attention? Not on God, but on the sense object, the world. Now there is this danger. It doesn't happen suddenly. Slowly, 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 crippling happens. If he is alert enough, the moment little crippling has happened, little covering has happened, immediately he says, oh, I have to be careful. But every time crippling happens, remember, you are inefficient to fight your desires. Every step you become more and more inefficient to come back. There is all the possibility that you will fail. Earlier the detection, easier the correction. This is where alertness is absolutely essential. A little bit of disturbance in the mind. Are you alert? Are you aware? Then you can come back. But otherwise, avasadhanam will happen. Fall will happen. When you are experiencing the pleasure of the sense object, you will not experience the bliss of the self. This is where the trap is. When you are experiencing the bliss of the self or God, you don't experience the pleasure of the sense object. But the moment you turn your attention to the sense object, slowly the bliss starts coming down, pleasure starts increasing. And the crippled intellect is made to believe that pleasure is indeed pleasurable, indeed joyful. It goes there. Going there means what? Going away from the self. Finally you have the pleasure. You yield to temptation. And then suddenly you realize, oh my God, I have fallen. That's why this warning is given. Na atmanam avasadet. My dear Arjuna, just because you have reached on top doesn't mean there is no fall. If you are careless, there is always a fall. Because your intellect can be crippled, can be paralyzed. Your intellect is your strength. Jnanino nitya vairina, it is said. Worldly desires are eternal enemy of a jnani, because the worldly desires cripples that intellect. And once intellect is gone, intelligence is gone, wisdom is gone, everything is gone, he becomes a two-legged animal. So in this spiritual path, for an indulgent person, you say, what is there? I don't feel anything. I indulge and I don't feel any fault. That is like the child who is lying down on the floor. The child is saying, what fault are you talking of? What carefulness are you talking of? Alertness are you talking of? I am not at all alert. Yeah, you need not be alert because you are on the floor. Alertness is only for those who are climbing up and have reached some heights. If you want to experience the bliss of the self, the necessary condition is sense organs should be disciplined. Necessary condition is mind has to be withdrawn. To the extent you are disciplined in the outer world, you will experience the bliss of the self. And that discipline itself is the height. But the moment you become indisciplined, there is fall. Beware. You have to lift yourself by yourself. And after lifting, job is not over. Again, after lifting yourself, you can continue to go high. Or when you are careless, you can even go low. This option is not there in animal kingdom. This option is there only in human beings. What option? The option of falling. Option of consciously rising also is there only for human beings. Option of carelessly falling also is there only for human beings. You can consciously rise or you can carelessly fall. In animal kingdom that is not there. No freedom is given. You are pushed higher and higher. But that speed is very slow. Uddharet. So here 7 times Atma is used in order to indicate take responsibility. Your destiny is in your own hands. Nobody else is controlling your destiny. Don't say God has written my destiny, now I am helpless, I am a puppet in the hand of God and all that. This verse is a verse of self-effort. This verse is an appropriate verse for a person who is possessed by ego. When ego is ruling us, this is the kind of advice we have to give. Not God's grace. All our destiny is written by God. Everything is happening by the will of God. What is there in our hands? Don't give that kind of advice. This is the advice. You alone are responsible. In fact, 99.99% of the people, this advice holds good. Because we are possessed by our ego. You will find a solace. No, it is all God's will. Especially when nothing is happening in your life. All miserable things are happening. You don't want to take responsibility. You want to put that responsibility somewhere. No, who is the right person? God. All bad things are happening to me because that is His will. What can I do? He pulls the string and we are the puppets. Atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. You are your own friend You are your own enemy also. If I have trained my mind in the wrong way, my mind becomes my enemy. Mind is filled with all kinds of negative thoughts and I am suffering that mind. Don't say God willed it. You trained it. Negative emotions I suffer, then that mind becomes my enemy. I have no control over my sense organs because the mind is my enemy. Mind is filled with likes and dislikes, anger, greed, jealousy. Such a mind is my enemy. At the seat of meditation, my mind I have no control because mind is my enemy. All my words and deeds are painful, hurtful, giving suffering to others because mind is forcing me to do it. In that sense, mind is my enemy. But at the same time, if the mind is disciplined, Atmaiva Bandhu, my own mind is my friend, then life is beautiful. All your instrument must be under your control. Are you the master or are you the slave? If you are a slave, then life is miserable. If you are a master, then life is joyful. Mind must ever be your slave. Then that mind is a good servant. Mind is a good servant, a bad master. Bandhuhu, Ripuhu, both minds. If life is lived in this way, righteous way, following the path of goodness, of values, then slowly that mind becomes my friend. Now, this Uddharanam and Avasadanam, rise and fall. This is the topic of the first verse. Now the question is, Bhagavan, what is that which makes me fall? What are those mistakes I commit because of which avasadanam happens? So verse number 2, that is 2.47, Karmanyavadhikarate. It is the verse of don'ts. What you must not do. And the third verse, 9.27, Yat Karoshya Dasnasi, that is a verse of do. What you should do so that you will evolve, what you should not do so that you will not fall. So the next verse is a verse of don'ts. Let us chant. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Karmani eva adhikaraha te. Te, to you, karmani eva adhikaraha. Adhikaraha means what? Right, qualification. You have the qualification only in performance of action. Karmani eva adhikaraha. Ma phaleshu, not in the results. Kadachana, ever. You have the right only to perform action. You don't have the right upon the results. Therefore, ma karma phala hetuhu bhuhu, may you not become a person who is performing action for karma phala. Hetu means cause. The one who is performing action for the sake of the result. Such a person is called karma phala hetuhu. May you not become that. May you not perform action for the result. Okay, Bhagavan, then I will not perform action only. Mate sangaha astu akarmani. Akarmani sangaha mastu. That doesn't mean that you should not perform action. You must perform action. Don't be attached to inaction. Don't be attached to inaction. Don't be attached to results of action. Two instructions are given. Now, the first one it said, Karmani eva adhikaraha te. You have the right upon action. Now, which action? Not all action. Only swadharma karma. So we can add one more instruction. So 3 instructions are given in this verse. Number 1, perform only those actions which are your swadharma. What is swadharma? We have to understand this also. All actions don't belong to me. Just because something is righteous doesn't mean that that is my swadharma. Swadharma is when there is my inclination in it, when I am trained to do it, when I am positioned in such a way that I am qualified to perform that action. Adhikara must be there. That karma where I have adhikara is called swadharma. For example, if nation goes to a war with another nation, who has the adhikara to fight? Not that professor. Yes, fighting the war is a righteous action. For to protect one's own nation, you must wage a war. The soldiers might fight, but who has a right to fight? That is called as adhikara. Not everybody. There is a person who is trained. Soldiers are trained to fight. So only they have that adhikara, the qualification to perform that karma. So that is called as swadharma karma. Or simply put, swadharma. There is an adhikara for everything. A surgery has to be performed. Who has the adhikara to do the surgery? Only the surgeon. Just because I have a knife doesn't mean that you... What is there? Only cutting and pasting. No, I will do it. No. A person has learned for so many time, so many years, and finally with that wisdom, he gets that adhikara. In the same way, every profession has got an adhikara to do that act. There is a qualification. You have to pass that qualification, then that particular act becomes your swadharma. Okay. So, what is being said? Karmani eva adhikarahate. So, what kind of karma here? It has to be understood. Karmani means swadharma karmani. Not any action. You have the right only in performing your swadharma. Statement number 1. So what has to be understood? You are not supposed to do paradharma. You have no right to do paradharma. Number 2, swadharma you must do. Fine, every time an action is done, results will come. What about the results? Can I insist upon the result because I am doing it? Ma phaleshu. This is the second instruction. So instruction number 1, do your swadharma alone. Instruction number 2, you have no right or qualification to insist upon the result. Why we don't have qualification to insist upon the result? You see, when an action is done, there are so many factors which will decide the result. It is not just my action. There are many other factors. In fact, infinite number of factors. Infinite number of factors come together. out of those infinite number of factors, one factor is my action. When infinite number of factors come together to give the result, I don't know these infinite factors. I am ignorant. Do I have any right to insist upon the result? A person who doesn't know anything except his own action, that itself is doubtful. He has performed action. Actually speaking, that also we don't know fully. With what intention we have done, with what sincerity we have done, deep down what all were the hidden desires, we are not even aware. But assuming that you know what you have done, even then there are so many factors which will decide the final outcome. I have the qualification to insist upon the result only if I know all the factors. But what is the truth? I don't know any of them. So therefore, who has the only right to give the results? The one who knows about each and every factor. And who is he? Bhagavan. Karturajñaya prapyate phalam. The Lord who is omniscient, who knows everything, He alone has a right, He alone has the qualification to give the results. And therefore, give up this insistence upon the results. Ma phaleshu. So statement number 1, perform your swadharma only. Don't perform your paradharma. Statement number 2, even when action is done, don't insist upon the result. Statement number 3, Mate sangaha astu akarmani. May you not be attached to inaction. May you not be attached to inaction. Meaning what? If there is swadharma, you must do it. No choice. Swadharma, you must do. May you not abstain from swadharma. Let us put it like this. Otherwise, what will happen? Avasadhanam will happen. Connect it. May you not abstain from swadharma, otherwise you are going to fall. Number 2, may you not insist upon results. So let us boil down to 2 statements. In the whole of this verse, 2 don'ts are given. May you not do this mistake. If you do this mistake, what will happen? Avasadhanam will happen. But if you don't do this mistake, then what will happen? Uddharanam will happen. So now, we will take the first statement. What is the first statement? Don't abstain from doing your swadharma. Don't enter into inaction. So, this is understood. Here action means what? Swadharma. May you not be attached to inaction. Now the question comes, what are the possible reasons why a person resort to inaction? What are the possible reasons? Reason number 1, laziness. Tamasic reason. Because every action means effort. I don't want to put forth effort. Action means responsibility. I don't want to be responsible. There is a joy of being irresponsible. There is a joy of inaction. That joy is a tamasic joy. Early morning you will experience that. I don't want to get up from bed. I don't want to do my jogging, exercise, etc. There is a joy of inaction. Every guna has a joy. There is a joy of tamoguna, there is a joy of rajoguna, and there is also a joy of sattoguna. Each one is higher than the other. So this can be one reason why a person may choose to be inactive. Reason number 2. A person may resort to inaction out of fear of ridicule, out of fear of criticism, out of fear of insult. Now these are all rajasic reasons. What if others make fun of me? What if I do a mistake? This is the reason why children generally, they don't want to do any performance on the stage. Everybody is looking at me. Stage fear. So that if the fear is really big, even though I love doing it, I will not do it. What if others make fun of me? What if I forget the dialogue there in drama? I forget dialogue. Everybody is laughing. And rest of my life that will haunt me. So the best thing is, don't go there at all. Problem is solved. Now, if this you do, uddharanam or avasadanam, you will fall. If you yield to challenges and step back, you are not evolving, you are devolving. If you yield to that fear, then that fear becomes stronger and stronger. The fear of ridicule, criticism, the fear of insult. See, it is my swadharma. I love doing it. As far as the action is concerned, it is my nature. I love doing it. But what if? This is called as mate sangostu akarmani. Beware. Beware of this akarma. Many times people do this. Especially in spiritual organizations, many organizations. Some criticism, some insult. That person loves doing that job, but then somewhere somebody told something. Hurt. Now why is it called avasadanam? It is called avasadanam because vasana is there, but that person is now suppressing the vasana, not expressing the vasana. As long as vasanas are not expressed, it will never get a vent to exhaust itself. You are not allowing the vasanas to exhaust, therefore you are delaying the process of evolution. Pus is there, filled. You say, no, I will not allow anybody to touch it. Then you suffer. Wound will spread and become dangerous. That is avasadana. In every field that thing is there. I love doing it, that is my swadharma. But how will the society take it? Nobody has done this ever before. If I start this, will I be criticized, made fun of, ridiculed? Should I do it or not? Better leave it. Relief is there. No headache. All problem starts only when you do, isn't it? Better don't do. Mate sangaha astu akarmani. Gurudev himself, after gaining this knowledge, this question was there. Should I take it to the public? Will people receive this knowledge, in a positive note? Or will they make fun of it? Will they value it? But then Gurudev came down. Okay, at the most what will happen? They will not value it. So I'll come back. You see? So this is one possible reason of akarma. Another possible reason, fear of loss of life. This is also rajasic only. To give an example, there was this officer, police officer. He was posted to a place which was filled with all these goons and gundas and all that. A lot of gundagiri used to happen in the whole area. He was posted there. So he came there with the whole family. A remote place. I think in Chambal or something. Chambal ki Rani and all. Somewhere there. All gundas. He was posted there. He shifted with his family, wife, children. He gets a call from the local gunda. Sir, I heard that you have taken charge now. You have two options. Option number one, you don't have to do anything. Akarma. Akarmani sangaha. You don't have to do anything, just close your eyes. So many things will happen here. Practice inaction. We will do all action. Then it's a win-win situation. Whatever we get, a portion anyway, it is allotted for you. This is how we have been living. All the police officers who have been coming, they have been in good terms with us. So whatever we get, a portion is given to you. You are happy. We are happy. Win-win situation. Option number two. You stand against us. Then, sir, you have your wife. You have your children. We know where your wife goes to work. We know where your children go in school. Our people are there everywhere. If you stand against us, then we will have to do certain things which we actually don't want to do. But if you force us to do, see, you alone have to be blamed. This call he received. Sweetly it was spoken to him. Now what he should do? Win-win situation. Win-win situation according to those robbers. Of course, this police officer, he went against. That is why he came to the interview and he spoke about all this, And finally all those gundas were caught and put behind bars. But this situation comes. And in such situation, it appears that not doing anything is the... But if you now see the police officer, in this case, what is his swadharma? He has been trained by the government. He has applied for that post. He succeeded in it. Got qualified. Got trained. So naturally his swadharma is fighting against all this. But suppose he doesn't do what he's supposed to do. then what is happening? No dharanam will happen. There is only avasadhanam. You see the number of losses. Adhyatmika level, Adi Bhautika level, and Adi Devika level, he will suffer. Adhyatmika level, what is the suffering? There is always this guilt. I am taking salary from the government, but I am not doing anything. I am actually supporting them. Illegal things are happening, immoral things are happening, injustice is happening in front of my eyes. I have been given the power also. Authority is there, training is there, everything is there, but I am not doing anything. He cannot be at peace. Conscience prick. That is avasadhana. Okay. Now, when a person lives such a life, only for namesake, uniform is there, police uniform, will his children have any respect for him? Will his wife have any respect for him? In the society, will he have any respect? Now this is called as Adi Bhautika. Around. He has to live a life of humiliation, disrespect. And also there is constant fear. Suppose some inquiry commission comes. Hey, what are you doing here? And finally, suppose he has been caught taking this bribe and this and that, and the newspaper, the whole this thing will come. So all the time this fear is there. Any time my, what do you call that, nexus with all these people will be exposed. And all that respect I have got as a police officer, everything will go. What do you call that? IPS officer or something like that he was. In Bhagavad Gita also this particular option is told to Arjuna. Arjuna, do you know what will happen if you withdraw from this war? Avachya vadascha bahun vadishyanti tavahitaha nindantas tava samarthyam tato dukkhataram nukim. You know what others will say? Arjuna ran away. Number one coward he was. Who said he is number one archer? He is number one coward. And all kinds of abusive words will be used against you. You will be humiliated, insulted, ridiculed. Sambhavitasya cha akirtihi maranadabhirichyate. Arjuna, for a person like you who has been glorified as a number one archer, respected, revered, for such a person, akirti, ill fame, is worse than even death. But Arjuna, there is a win-win situation for you. What is win-win? Hato va prapsyase swargam, jitva va bhokshyase mahim. Suppose you die in the battlefield, you will attain heaven. But suppose you win this war, bhokshyase mahim, you will enjoy the kingdom. So it is called win-win situation. If you die, uddharanam. If you live, you enjoy the whole world. Fame, you see. You see the win-win situation of that Gunda and win-win situation here of Bhagavan. So what is the win-win situation for this police officer? Fight! That's the purpose for which you have come here. At the most what will happen? I will die. It's okay. At least next birth, paragati is guaranteed. At the most what will happen? Physical body has to die. Sukshma Sharira gathers a brilliance, a new set of purification. You see, going through that struggle, the Sukshma Sharira gets purified. Daivi Sampati is increased. So many times people don't do an action out of fear of death. What is the wrong way of analysis? What is the way? If suppose I die, everything is gone. Who is there for my family, my children? So better compromise and live happily. Mate sangaha akarmani. Far better is death. Same thing happened with Gandhiji also. When he was thrown out of that train. What should I do? Should I remain quiet? Or should I fight against the British? Fighting against the British is impossible. I am a weak person. Whereas that British Empire, sun never sets. But then the voice of conscience was very loud. And this is what happens when the mind is pure. When the mind is pure, you cannot ignore that voice of conscience. It is very loud, persistent, torturing. You can't silence it, you can't ignore it. It is as though Bhagavan, compels a pure-hearted person to obey his will. There is no choice. So Gandhiji had no choice actually. Mate sangha astu akarmani. So this is another reason. So what are the reasons you have seen? Number 1, laziness. Number 2, fear of ridicule. Number 3, fear of loss of life, death. Can there be another reason? Attachment. I'm supposed to do something, but when I'm attached, attachment again cripples the intellect. Best example, Dhritarashtra. As a father, you are supposed to correct your son, whether that son likes it or not. No, he will feel bad. It is your duty. Swadharma it is. It is the duty of father to ensure that the son is walking the righteous path. If he is not walking the righteous path, it is his duty to train him, tame him, discipline him. Samadana, Bheda, Danda. Even Danda is also allowed. It is a duty. But Dhritarashtra did not do that at all. Akarmani. We become paralyzed in front of our near and dear ones because of our unhealthy attachments. Beware. Arjuna had that paralytic attack. First chapter is all paralysis only. Same thing. He said, Bhagavan, I will not fight. How can I fight? They are all my guru, my cousins, my dear and near ones. And we also would have said, yeah, Arjuna is such a nice person, very good person, very loving person, sweet person. See how much love he has. No desire for the kingdom at all. Krishna is not good. Krishna is a problem. You see how beautifully Vedavyasa Rishi created the situation that we were all deluded. We thought Arjuna is right. If you read the first chapter, it appears Arjuna is right only. What will happen if all the men die? Women will become widow, children will become orphans. Oh my God, so many things will happen. Robbers will conquer and do everything. Yeah. Arjuna is right. What was the mistake of Arjuna? Complete attachment. Now he is saying, Bhagavan, I will go. I will live on alms. What is it? Paradharma. Is a Kshatriya giving up the duty of fighting the war and taking up the duty of a sannyasi. Bhagavan said, nothing doing. Of course, he collapsed also. You see, he collapsed. But one good thing is, he turned to Bhagavan and said, Bhagavan, please guide me. So these are all the examples of Mate sangostu akarmani. Akarma. If you resort to akarma, then it is avasadhanam. You have been given an opportunity. You have all the talents, the abilities. A situation was there, a problem was there. You are supposed to solve the problem. You could have become the instrument of God in solving the problem. You said, no, I will not do it. Out of fear of ridicule, criticism, loss of life, due to attachment, whatever the reason, if you don't do it, it is a spiritual fall. You are miserable. People around you are miserable. And after death also, there is no higher gati. And all the time that guilt will be there. You can never be at peace. A person who has compromised with higher values can never be at peace. How much ever meditation classes he may go. In meditation, may I be peaceful. Imagine peace. Peace. My dear, peace has to come from Bhagavan. You did all kinds of wrong things and you think you can be peaceful? Never. Intelligently one must live life. Intelligently one must handle all situations in life. Live a dharmic life, value-based life. As a result of that, you are awarded by peace. Peace is the final reward given by Bhagavan himself. Cheap peace, it's available. How do you get? One peg. Cheap peace. But you have to pay a price next day. Hangover. That is terrible, they say. Quality peace, there is a price. Quality peace comes from Bhagavan. Most fulfilling, defect-free peace, fulfilling peace, elevating peace, divine peace. There is a price. Price is living a righteous life. So this is point number 1, which can create avasadhanam. Number 2, what is the second one? Ma karma phala hetuhu bhuhu. This is the second one. Just performing action will not do. Perform action without expecting results. This is also equally important. The first mistake was not performing action at all. First mistake. Second mistake, performing action but with expecting results. Now this is one thing which is again and again coming in Bhagavad Gita. Perform action without expecting results. And many times people think, how is it possible? Performing action with and what is wrong in expecting results? In fact, Swamiji, for me, result is my inspiration. What are you talking? Otherwise, I will go into akarma only. Little karma I am doing because of phala. And you are saying, you have taken away the very what you call, the motivating factor. I am passionate because of the result. But here it is said, don't do it. So, now we will have to analyze what are the consequences of performing action for results. This has to be properly understood because karma phala, when we read it, nothing strikes. In fact, this instruction appears to be impractical only. Because what do we find in life? We find this, that in life, whatever I have gained, it is only because of phala only. All my hard work has come only because of the because of the tempting results. I studied hard for marks, so phala was there. I studied hard for rank, phala was there. I studied hard and therefore I got a good college. Because of that college only I studied hard. I got a good job, job was my phala. Everywhere. I started business, of course profit was my motivating factor. In sports also, of course it is phala, I want to win. My team has to win. Everywhere I worked hard for results. Now what are you talking? Perform action without expecting results. Now see, this instruction is not for everyone. Some of the instructions are not meant for all. What is the qualification for practicing this verse? What is the qualification? The qualification is you have already performed action for results and you are miserable now. You have got the results and you are miserable now. This is the qualification. Remember, what is the qualification for the next level? Your present level should be misery. That is the qualification. If suppose in the present level you are happy, then why do you want to go to next? You are not qualified for the higher. Swamiji, I am very happy. With the result only, all my efficiency, everything come up. Passionate I become only because of the results. There should be an opponent to break his nose. Then only I practice my boxing. You see, it is true. So therefore, Swamiji, it is a phala which inspires me. Adrenaline rush comes because of phala. I am passionate for his result. If this is the way he says, don't dare to tell this verse to him. He is not qualified. You see, this is an instruction for highly advanced, evolved ones. Na buddhi vedam jane datnyanam karma sanginam. Don't create confusion in the minds of people. This is one such verse. If somebody is working hard, working for the result, and very happy, highly inspired, highly active, and in the process, of course, society is benefited because he is working hard. Selfishly, he is working hard, and in the process, society is benefited. Never give this verse to him. As long as a person is not miserable in his current state, he doesn't deserve the advice of the higher state. The necessary qualification for advice of a higher state is you have already attained this present lower state, but you are not happy there. But how will you know who is happy, who is not happy? If you are at a higher level, you will know who is at a lower level. Only a person at a higher level can understand the state of a person in the lower level. Lower level person cannot understand the higher level, but higher can always understand the lower. So Karma Yoga, Upadesha, perform action without expecting result, is not for everybody. That is why people have kept Bhagavad Gita aside. I respect Bhagavad Gita, but please leave me alone. Yes, I'll keep Bhagavad Gita in my puja room. Om Jai Jagadi, all that is fine. Don't ask me to study that, read that, because I am not able to connect to it. It is true. Then only give some verses. There are some verses which are meant for everybody. For example, the first one, Uddhared Atmanatmanam. See, you alone are responsible for you. So work hard. Okay, don't waste your time. That he understands. Your own mind is your friend, your own mind is... yes, that I understand. Perfect. So there are some verses which are applicable to everybody. But this verse is not applicable to everyone. Through performance of... in fact, this verse is applicable to a person who has been highly rajasic. He has attained everything, but he is miserable. Wealth is there, power is there, position is there, all attainments are there, but he is miserable. Hard work is never a problem for him. He is not a lazy person. Through his hard work, he has achieved everything, but he is not happy. This verse is for them. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu. Now, what are the problems of expecting results? How it is going to negatively affect me? So for that, we have to understand what is called as karma bandhana, psychological bondage. Yajñarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanga samachara. There is something called bondage at the psychological level. At the mind level, there is a bondage. Helplessness, lack of freedom. All that comes from karma phala asakti. In fact, whatever negativity we are experiencing in our mind, all negative emotions, negative thoughts, they are directly or indirectly connected to karma phala only. So since it is a new topic, a different topic, we will take it up tomorrow. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.